Vamos a ver, está aquí el asesino. ¿Quién eres tú?
I ask the questions here. You're Oris, aren't you?
Bugger off.
Listen to me, fool. I'm not a gold cloak, but I can kill you right now if you so wish. On the other hand, should you answer my questions, I'll make it worth your while.
You're not from the City Watch? If you're telling the truth, I have nothing to lose. Ask your questions.
¿Por qué está encerrado? ¿Por qué no han maltratado tanto?
What are you
¿Por qué
doing
está
here,
encerrado
murderer?
aquí?
How did they catch you?
Nobody caught me, old man. I was set up.
What do you mean?
The man who was supposed to pay me. He locked me up down here.
Who? Who hired you?
That bastard, Janos Slint. It was the commander of the City Watch himself who told me to slit the throats of the two men hiding in that damn cellar. We'd known each other for some time. He came to me in the tavern I frequent. He said he had a job for me. Said it'd pay 300 silver stags. Enough to feed us all for more than a year. I asked for part of the money up front, as I always do. He told me to meet him at his office, and everything went well. But when two of my men and I came to collect the other half of the money after I had completed the job, he had us thrown into this hole. He tricked me.
¿De qué se
How did you
conocieron?
meet? Did you serve as a gold cloak?
No, not at all. But I've done this kind of favor for the commander in the past. There'd never been any problem until now, so I didn't have any reason to doubt him. As I told you, I was in his office upstairs when he made his offer. He paid me the advance without any trouble. When he left to get the money, I took a quick look around his office. There was a letter. I can't read, but I recognized the seal I saw at the bottom of that letter. It was Valar's, the Queen's lapdog.
Valar? Are you sure?
I know what I'm talking about. He and his Bloodseekers have been getting in our way since they came to King's Landing. We're needed less and less because of them. I realized too late that it was them I was working for. I should have turned down this offer.
The Bloodseekers. Those damned thugs. If Valar really is behind all this, that letter may just help me bring him down. I have to get into this office.
Get me out of here! I told you everything you need to know. Your turn to help me. These scoundrels of the City Watch betrayed me. And now they're wagering on when I'm going to die. I'm the leader of the Reapers. If you save my life, you won't regret it.
Rilor todavía nos reclama esta vida.
If you're telling the truth, and I find the letter you spoke of, then maybe I'll come back to free you. But if you're lying, by Rilor it will cost you.
Best if I stay here and wait. I don't have a chance on my own.
Tengo que ir arriba y ver esa carta. Además, así sin matarle puedo pasar más desapercibido por aquí, que no habiendo matado a un prisionero. Entonces buscarán al culpable.
This tier is for officers only. You've no right to be here.
¿Y cómo entro? A ver.
Hey, you. What are you doing here?
Será mejor que fije estar en una
I've been
misión.
ordered to collect some important documents for the small council of the Red Keep.
Oh? Upon whose orders?
Ahora Janos.
Commander Janos Slint in person.
The commander? Why would he ask you to do that?
Puedo decirlo.
He asked me to do that because he wanted to take a nap.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's the truth.
Maybe, but I'd rather wait for his return to be safe. In the meantime, get the
Vaya
hell
por
out of
Dios.
here.
If I want to get up there, I'll have...
Sí, tengo que interrogar a los guardias.
So many of them.
A estos ya no. Al Rufus igual. Tengo que averiguar más del comandante.
Excuse me, I heard you talk about Sir Harold. Is he true?
Let me guess. You're a new recruit, eh? So let me give you a good piece of advice. If there's one man you shouldn't irk, it's him.
Yeah, Sir Harold is the worst. I remember one day, one of the guards joked about his height. Nothing harsh, just a little laugh, you know. Well, he found out about it. The poor sod's been on latrine scrubbing duty ever since that day.
Keep away from him as much as you can.
Vale, vale.
The corpse we're storing is wearing a tabard, but I can't figure out which house he belonged to.
No sé quién es ese tío, pero bueno.
Hey, looking for the coat of arms in his...
Por aquí no. Estos.
Only you could fall asleep right next to a crime scene.
Yeah, Sir Harold hasn't had me relieved for at least 2 days, but it could have been much worse.
Hello there, friend.
Pregunté sobre Harold. Hablaban de los asesinos de las cloacas. No.
Sir Harold is the one who manages the relief team, is that right?
Not just that, he's also the officer in charge of stewardship, and he doesn't mess around. The other officers can throw you into the dungeons or give you extra duties whenever they please. But Sir Harold, he's the worst.
Yeah, once he has it in mind to punish you, he'll drag you through the 7 hells.
Don't you find the commander's attitude towards that body stored down there a little strange?
Aquí hay más tíos.
We'll find out which house he belonged
A
to.
ver qué dice. Aquí el Alester.
But the commander seemed pretty desperate for us to burn the dark-haired boy's body as quickly as we could. It's a bit fishy if you ask me, and I have a feeling it has something to do with gold. Yes? Can we help you?
Está hablando de su comandante.
What's the name of the commander again? I keep forgetting.
Are you new around here, or simply an idiot? His name is Janos Slint. Be sure to remember it this time, or you won't last long around here.
He's at the Red Keep at the moment. I'll show you who it is when he gets back.
So, Benfrey...
Muy bien, enséñamele cuando vuelva. Estaré aquí, esperando. Sí. Vamos a ver a estos que me han caído bien.
Where is the commander? I haven't seen him for some time.
He left for the Red Keep earlier.
Commander Janis Slint spends a lot of time there these days.
Actually, he goes there more and more often. I heard that he might become a lord or something.
Janos Slint.
I've spent the whole day looking for the coat of arms in this damn book.
Con estos ya he hablado, ya no sé con quién más hablar. Y a ver si puedo engañarle.
Hey, you. What are you doing here?
No, no quiero ver al comandante porque no está.
Oh? Upon whose orders?
Commander...
The commander? Why would he ask you to do that?
Sé que no está aquí, saquémosle partido.
I was traveling by his side to the Red Keep. Once there, he said he'd forgotten some documents and that I had to quickly return them to him or there'd be trouble.
Yeah. When the commander gives an order, you'd better do as he says. I'd rather not have any trouble. Go ahead. But move your ass. So, are you done?
Yes, it should be fine. I have everything I need.
Pero si no he entrado.
Yeah. Well, make sure you don't forget anything. I don't want you putting the commander in a bad mood.
Pero si no he entrado. ¿Tengo que entrar y buscar la carta o ya no? Porque no lo entiendo. Sí, parece que sí. Esta.
So that's the famous letter. Oris wasn't lying. I swore to help him if he was telling the truth. But am I really obliged to keep this promise? If things get out of hand, I risk my own skin. All that for the man who killed Gawain. Let's have a look.
A ver, una orden de misión. En respuesta al comandante Janos Slint, Hendry Ríos debe morir sin falta. No creo que recordéis lo que está en juego. Ella no está satisfecha hasta que la presa Serpalar Colina. Hendry Ríos. Carta de Hendry Ríos. Bueno, Hendry. Pero os digo yo que se leerá Gendry. Que ese no es el bastardo del rey Robert. Armas, martillo tribal. Eso es, ¿qué debo hacer? ¿Ayudar al tío este? Joder, he hecho una promesa, no puedo faltarla. Tengo que ayudar al cabroncete. A liberarle. Pero mataba... Sí, le voy a liberar.
Yes, you were right. But you still killed my brother. Die.
No, you bastard!
Te he liberado. Ahora ya no estás en una prisión. Ahora estás muerto. Nuevo rastro, la justicia es ciega. Y ahora es hora de salir de aquí y que nadie sepa que he sido yo. Por cierto, ¿dónde tengo que ir? ¿Tengo que ir a algún sitio? Planta baja. Sí, voy por aquí. Luego está la primera planta. Vamos, que tengo que salir. Y ya está. Y llevarle la carta a alguien. Ay, ya está. A ver qué nos depara esto. La verdad no he leído muy bien la carta, pero supongo que era una orden para matar a alguien y este se lo tendrá que llevar a la reina. Aunque creo que es la reina, seguramente será lo que le ha mandado. Supongo. O igual no. Que llevarlo a la reina para que desacredite a Valar y así nosotros nos quedemos con el dominio de Aguas Fuentes. Vamos. Hay una paloma. Será un cuervo. Bueno, la cosa es que ahora donde...
Lord Alester, please.
So, sir, did you find out what happened to your brother?
Yes. Valar had him executed. Mark my words. I am going to find this murderer and cut him down where he stands.
I'm afraid that's not possible, sir. He left during your investigation with at least 100 men.
Ice and death. This wretched dog knows no limits. He killed my brother, and now he's trying to undermine any hope I have of gaining the Queen's favor. I must speak with Lord Halden immediately.
He awaits you at his residence.
Bueno, vamos a cambiarnos ya, no me gusta este uniforme. Y vamos a ponernos el uniforme... bueno. Entre comillas, ¿dónde está este? De la cabeza era la capucha de sacerdote rojo. Y el resto no sé. A ver qué tal me están los guantes. Estos guantes me gustan más. Y las botas... las botas de cuero del Valle de Arryn. Yo creo que están mejor. Creo que solo se me olvida la capa. ¿Qué es esta? Sí, ya está. Ya estoy listo, ya estoy con mi uniforme habitual. Vamos hacia arriba. ¿Era por aquí? No. Era por aquí. A ver dónde está la casa. Este es el barrio muy rico de la ciudad. Porque es todo blanco y así. Bueno, vamos aquí a ver al señor del árbol.
Alester, were you able to discover anything?
I know what happened. The murderers in the sewers were targeting a boy by the name of Cedric Rivers. His last name leaves no room for doubt. He's a bastard child, just like those the Queen is hunting down. But the assassins also killed whoever else was in the hideout at that time. And that's how Gawain fell victim to them.
How can something this dreadful have been allowed to happen?
No tiene vuelta de hoja para hablar de
Valar murdered my brother.
You believe your half-brother murdered Gawain? But Sir Desmond seems to suspect the bandits living in the sewers.
He is correct. However, the bandits were just pawns, and I have the proof right here. Valar is behind it all. This letter explains everything. It is he who ordered the assassination. He signed it with his own hand.
I do not understand. Why would he do such a thing?
Al fin y al cabo, él mira por sus propios
Look at what's
intereses.
written here. See that you do not leave any witness. He must have known that Gawain would be with Cedric. Valar was trying to capture my brother after all. This was an ideal opportunity for him. He didn't leave him any chance of clearing his name.
You believe he acted out of revenge?
Obviously. He wants to wipe out the Sarwics and take control of Riverspring. Valar used this opportunity to get rid of him. One less obstacle in the way of his conquest. He is now assured that he will become head of House Sarwick, being both my sister's husband and my father's only descendant.
What are you planning to do?
Gawain was my brother. I can't just let that bastard Valar destroy my family. He will pay with his blood. I'll never let that wretch take the ancestral lands of House Sarwick. I already have this letter which proves his involvement in the sewer murders. I have to find out what it is that links these murders and expose Valar's treachery. Once the people learn of his treachery, the Queen will have no choice but to sever her ties with him.
You are right. The answer probably lies with the bastards that the Queen is hunting down.
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, if you think about it, isn't that what all these murders have in common? All the victims were bastards. In fact, you helped track one of them down yourself, didn't you?
La reina quería sobre una pica. No tenía elección.
I only helped the Queen to get back my land and titles. It was the best way to show my loyalty, and I'm willing to get my hands dirty so that my family can regain its former wealth.
Certainly. And your resolve does you credit. But why did she call on you? If these targets really were enemies of the Crown, why didn't she send the gold cloaks?
Indeed. She chose an inconspicuous method every time.
The Queen does not wish for this matter to be made public.
These bastards are not chosen at random. Valar himself is one, but he's not worried. So there must be some other link between them. But what? I can't put my finger on it.
I might have a lead on this matter. One of my contacts at court passed a letter on to me. It's from Lord John Arryn himself, the King's Hand. He sent it to the Red Keep sometime before his death. It was meant for Grand Meister Pycelle, who sits on the Royal Council.
Está hablando de John Arryn, una carta enviada junto antes de su
You claim
muerte.
he wrote a letter just 2 weeks before his death. But what did it say?
Well, John Arryn asked the Grand Meister to consult a book on the lineages of the Seven Kingdoms. And this came after he was seen in the company of Stannis Baratheon, visiting various dens of ill repute. It caused quite a stir. If you're unfamiliar with these two men, they have long established reputations of unfailing virtue. Normally, neither of them would ever frequent that kind of establishment. After a little investigating, I learned that the Hand had visited half a dozen bastards that day, one of whom was the potter that you and Sir Valar killed. In light of all these pieces of information, I've some doubts that John Arryn's death was by natural causes.
You think that because he was walking about town and consulting some tome on lineage, that someone had the hand of the king assassinated?
Think about it. If John Arryn discovered something about those bastards that someone powerful didn't want him to know, I have a feeling that this book on lineages holds the key to this mystery. And I've sent word to a man capable of shedding light on all of that for us. He's a Meister of the Citadel called Rupert. He's also an expert in ancient texts, and it just so happens that he has worked on the book. I do not know him personally, but he has agreed to meet with us. He was asked to bring a copy of the tomb.
Why call on this Maester Rupert?
Grand Meister Pycelle is the Queen's loyal servant. It would be highly inadvisable to contact him directly. However, there is still one concern to settle. The payment.
How much is he asking for?
Eso digo yo.
He does not seek money. If he did, this matter would already be settled. He wants a particular settlement, but he refuses to explain himself in writing. He would rather discuss this in private.
Fine. I will meet with him. Where can I find him?
The meeting has been arranged near an illegal arena, hidden in the sewers. I sincerely hope he will give us the help we need. I've already taken the liberty of sending Sir Desmond there, as he knows these parts well. He will be able to come to your aid if something goes wrong.
Thank you, Lord Halton.
Buah, se tiró como 15 minutos hablando el tío este, macho. Pero bueno, ahora ya sabemos dónde tenemos que ir y lo debería de ir dejando ya, pero es que no puedo. Esto va a ser un triple capítulo o algo así, porque llevo ya bastante tiempo, al menos eso me parece a mí. O será por el calor, pero quiero seguir, quiero más. Vamos a encontrarnos con el tipo este, ¿dónde estará? Uf. Vale, creo que ya casi lo tengo. Por aquí. ¿Me envía directamente a las cloacas? Bueno, pues vamos a las cloacas. Hagas lo que hagas, asegúrate de tener las manos limpias. Peter Baelish. Peter Baelish. Ay. Venga, cárgate, campeón. Pero si esto lo abrí antes. No. Ay, por Dios. Ay, ¿qué pasa aquí? Es este. No, no es este. ¿Dónde está? Este. Rupert.
Maester Rupert, here is the man I was speaking of. Sir Alester Sarwick.
It's an honor, sir.
Now that your friend is here, let us get straight to the point. I understand that one of my books has piqued your interest?
Indeed, Maester. The book on the lineages of the Seven Kingdoms. You have brought it with you, haven't you?
Don't get ahead of yourself. You'll get the book, but only once you've paid me the price I ask.
¿Qué quiere?
What is your price, then?
The price is my life. You have no doubt heard of the secret fights organized in this arena. Well, I've gotten myself into a bit of a debt there.
What kind of debt?
The kind of bet I'll never be able to fully repay. I wagered with the owner of this ring a life of servitude against all his riches. And I lost. As is traditional for merchants of the free cities, Ossifer is proclaiming to everyone that I'm his slave. He left me only one way out. If I want to be free again, I have to defeat his champion in the arena. The problem is that his champion is a savage warrior who goes by the name of Eruk. They say he can crush the skulls of his enemies with his bare hands.
I see. You clearly stand no chance against him.
Exactly. But Ossifer never said I couldn't appoint a man to fight for me. Unfortunately, I don't know of anyone in King's Landing who could possibly defeat such a brute.
Ya veo dónde quiere ir a parar.
Yes, I'm sure it's quite obvious. I think you stand a much better chance in this arena than me.
Maybe. It's just that I don't typically put on a show in illegal fights.
Sir Alester, a man must sometimes take the darker path that will lead him to the light of justice. Come on. This book would allow you to see exactly what the Queen fears so much, and to bring down Valar at the same time.
Fine. I will do whatever is necessary to avenge Gawain's death.
Wonderful. You're a lifesaver, sir.
You know full well that I am not doing this for you, Rupert.
No matter. It all amounts to the same thing for me. Leave me a moment. I need to formalize everything with Ossifer. There he is, Ossifer. That man right there is my champion.
Oh, I really didn't think you'd manage to talk some poor bastard into this. Welcome, sir. So, you're willing to risk your life for this ass of a man? I hope you know what you're doing.
So you'll keep your word, eh? If he defeats your champion, my debt is no more.
Yes, but we both know that will never happen. Eruk is undefeated. As you have chosen to die in the arena, you'll need a fighting name. How do you wish to be introduced to the crowd?
Y quiero un nombre que inspire. Elegiré un nombre en honor a Reloj.
I will be Azor Ahai, Warrior of the Light.
What a spectacular name. It should be a real crowd pleaser. Take the door on the left and prepare yourself down there. Then speak to the guard when you're ready. He'll give me the signal and open the gate for you. Better say your prayers. My champion, Eruk, comes straight out of the wild lands beyond the wall. That's for you, Rupert. Remember, if your champion dies today, your family will join you in your life of servitude, as agreed.
Joder, no le está dejando ninguna salida. Aún tengo que hacer unas cuantas cosas más, así que voy a cortar aquí y nos vemos en la pelea. ¡Hasta ahora! Bueno, parece que iba a comprar, pero parece que no me dejan, así que... Vamos a ver cuál es su punto débil.
Does this giant have some sort of flaw I can take advantage of?
They say that once he bleeds, it doesn't stop. Cut him and he'll continue to weaken as the fight drags on. Do you hear that? This is it. It's time for your duel.
A flame will soon be extinguished.
Quiero comprar, por Dios. Nada. No me dejan. Hijos de puta. Ya puedo. Mercader de la arena. Este tiene que tener algo para mí. Como esto. Aquí. Confirma. Este es el aceite inflamable. Por fin. Pero este no tiene fuego valirio. Bueno, pues le voy a poner más aceite inflamable. Enojo ciego. Aquí, continuar. Este no tiene el fuego valirio, con lo útil que me ha sido. Pero bueno. Al menos tiene aceite inflamable. Tengo aquí 6 de aceite inflamable, muy bien. Perfecto.
Are you ready?
Adelante.
Open the gate. Let's get this over with.
Oh, pues la skin de este tío mola.
Prepare to be amazed! Tonight, we are lucky enough to be witnessing some unexpected entertainments. For your pleasure tonight, a stranger decided to step up into our arena. Please welcome Azor Ahai! He's going up against a warrior who has fought and killed more than 12 men.
Tiene un martillo con el venado.
You all know who I'm talking about? Here is Erok, of the wild lands that lie beyond the wall. Only one of these warriors will leave this arena victorious. Which will it be? I hope you have all placed your wagers. Let the fight commence!
Bueno, empecemos con esto. Y después con esto. Y ahora esto. Mierda, me ha interrumpido. Vamos, levántate. Tiene que dar para esto. Otra vez. Está poniendo fino. Vamos. Otra vez esto. Bien, ahora esto. Mierda. ¿Más todavía? Ahí estamos. Me ha encantado, chaval. Me lo he jugado toda una carta. Era o curarme o hacer eso o morir. Y he ganado. Bien, los sellos que antes no había cogido. Ya está, Rupert. Estás libre, Rupert.
Proud, Sir Alester. That was a fight to remember.
Wonderful. You just saved my life.
Damn, you killed one of my best men. But by the seven, was this show worth it?
Reminds me of the good old days, in the time of the great Lucifer the Unvanquished. What a fight!
I was not fighting for mere glory. The book, Rupert.
Here you go. You deserved it. You're an excellent fighter. If you ever fight in these parts again, you must send me word.
Let us return to my lord's residence, Sir Alester. We'll feel more at ease there.
You go on ahead. I'll meet you there.
Very well. Here, take this key. It'll let you access the basement from the courtyard. I made good use of it at times, when my lord sent me down here to recruit fighters. Be safe, and return to us soon.
Ah, creo que ya sé dónde está la salida esa.
Come back anytime, my friend. This arena will always welcome you. You will soon make a name for yourself, and a fortune. Just let me find a new champion first. It's going to take a while, so feel free to take a look around town in the meantime.
No sé si volveré, amigo mío. Pero lo primero... La puerta está ahí. Pero lo primero voy a comprar mucho aceite de ese. ¿Habéis visto lo útil que es? Quiero más aceite. Sí, confirmar. Y más todavía. Confirmar. Vale. Ya tengo 9 del aceite ese de mierda. Y ahora vamos arriba. Qué bien va, es extraño. Normalmente va como el culo, va a pedos, pero últimamente está yendo bastante bien. Está a 30 FPS. Bueno, ahora cuando salga a la ciudad bajará a 20 y tantos. Ay, malditos tiempos de carga. Tengo que dejar ya, tengo que recoger la habitación. Llevo semana y media en casa y no se puede ni andar por la casa. Está todo lleno de cerveza y comida por el suelo. Esto tiene que criar cucarachas. Y tabaco. Mucho tabaco. Bien, ya estoy aquí. Mucho mejor. Si quieres luchar... Vale. Si quiero luchar tengo que bajar las alcantarillas. Ya está. Pero vamos con la misión principal. A mí las misiones secundarias me interesan solo un poco.
Desmond was just telling me of your adventures. Congratulations on your victory.
Would that I didn't have to fight, but at least we have the book.
Get the book out. We must start our research without delay. I don't understand. What could John Aaron have possibly found in this book?
Indeed, I also cannot see what secret this book could hold. Wait! Go back!
What did you see?
Maybe I'm mistaken, but the bastard that I hunted down with Valar, he had dark hair and blue eyes. All births from the marriages between Baratheons and Lannisters have this in common. Raven hair prevails over golden. Of course. Now I know what John Aaron discovered. Children.
What are you talking about?
We have been researching the bastard line when we should be looking at the legitimate children. Cersei is a Lannister and Robert is a Baratheon. Their children should have dark hair and blue eyes, as is written in the book. It has always been so. And yet, they are blonde. The royal children are illegitimate. This is what John Aaron discovered.
By the Seven! But then, the bastards that the damned queen is hunting down.
They are the only true descendants of King Robert Baratheon. That's why the queen wants them dead. R'hllor's light. The queen even involved me in this treachery.
She didn't hesitate to execute the bastard children of that fool Robert, to keep his adultery a secret. Everything she does so to serve herself. Her people might well die, and on her orders too, if she deemed it necessary.
And Valar being her little pet only makes matters worse. This news makes the race to control Riverspring even more dire. The future of my people is at stake, and the only reason Valar desires the lands are power and vengeance.
No doubt Cersei finds watching her catspaw groom himself in her image an amusing distraction. It's time we did something. If not, your lands, and perhaps the realm, may never recover from this.
Tienes razón.
Indeed. Changes will have to come. I cannot allow Riverspring to flounder on such grounds.
It seems that we are in agreement. Listen, Sir Alester. I think it's time I confided in you. As you know, my friend, the usurper, claimed the Iron Throne just after your departure, 15 years ago. From that moment on, he never gave a second thought to the people. The Queen took advantage of this and ended up assuming the real power through her numerous schemes. Your father and I quickly realized that no good could come of this monarchy. Nothing like this would ever have happened during the times of the Targaryen rule. Under their aegis, the kingdom was more prosperous, untroubled, and governed in a much fairer way than with Robert Baratheon and his damned Queen Lannister.
El linaje de los Targaryen ya no existe. El linaje de los Targaryen ya no existe.
The Targaryen dynasty did reign for almost 300 years, but disappeared, along with the whole bloodline 15 years ago.
You are mistaken. The bloodline has not yet come to end. There still remain heirs in the north as well as the east. It would be 1,000 times better if they took the reins of the kingdom. Your father and I were convinced of it. And in time, we came to understand that we weren't the only ones disappointed in the usurper.